creating an interactive multiple choice activity using H5P on WordPress. So this is what you will have to do, is you will go to your H5P plugin and you go to add new, and you'll do this for any type of activity you want to add. What we are adding here is we're adding the multiple choice, but as you can see, you have the option to add any type of content. So I'll click on the multiple choice, and that will add or create the first activity here. We'll call it multiple choice activity. And for your question, what you can do is you can add an image to the question and then ask a question and offer multiple choice. So I'll add an image here. Let's see what we have. Okay, so I have an image here of a group of cherries that we will ask a question about. The alternative text, you always have to insert the alternative text. This is the text that will show up if the image is not loaded correctly or if the image link is broken. So I'll just put group of cherries as the alternative text. Hover text we don't need. You can disable image zooming. So right now the student or the person completing this has the option to click on the image and the image will be enlarged. This is especially important if you have a lot of details, important details in the image that the students need. So I won't disable that, I will leave that on for now. And then you get to type in your questions. So you'll type in your question here. So I will ask, how many cherries are in the picture? So this is our question. And in your question, you have the options, a few options. So you can make the question bold. You can italicize it. You have control over the text placement. And finally, you have, this is the size of the text. So H2 is the biggest size you can choose here, but I will leave it as normal. This is normal size text. Under the question, you will have the options or the multiple choice that you can add. So you add your choices here. So I will say 3 cherries, that is the first choice. Under each choice you have the option of making that option the correct choice or the correct answer. So if I put correct, that means 3 cherries is the correct answer to how many cherries are in the picture, which is not correct. So I will take that off. Under that, you have tips and feedback. This is explained right here in the text. So this is hint for the users. If the user is stuck and they don't know the answer and they need a hint, then they have the option to click on the hint button and they will get a hint. For example, the hint could be count the cherries in the picture. This is an optional setting that you can have. You can also add a message if the answer is selected. So you can say, are you sure? Do you want to count again? And also you have the option of having a message if this option is not selected. So basically the opposite of the previous setting. I'll leave that empty for now. So this is just option number 1. This is just for the 3 cherries option. Second option, say 4 cherries, 4 cherries. Again, we can do the same thing, but I will leave it empty. So right now we have 2 options, 3 cherries and 4 cherries. The correct answer is 7. But we only have 2 options for now, so you can add as many options as you need. So you can add a third option. I'll say 5 cherries. And I'll add the last option here, and I will say 7 cherries. And this is the correct option. Again, I leave all of the tips and the feedback empty. So right now I have a multiple choice with 4 choices and 1 correct answer. So I don't need to add any more options. I have all my options, 4 options. The last part here is the overall feedback. So this is basically deciding custom criterias for the score that the student gets in an activity. Right here we only have 1 question. We have 1 question, and that's all we'll have right here. Just the one. So we don't really need to set it, but if we were to set it, if we were to have, say, maybe 100 questions, then we can do something like this. From 0 to 50%, you will give the feedback for that range. For example, sorry, you did not pass the activity. And then from 51 to 61, you can just say good, you passed. You can add as many criteria as you want. They can be, for example, A, B, C, or D grades, or they can just be feedback from 60 to 100. We'll say great job, and the last one we'll get rid of. So this is the criteria that we have added. But again, this doesn't really apply because we only have 1 question. The next section, you have behavioral settings. So enable retry button. This will enable the student to redo the activity. Enable show solution. This will show the students the solutions if they do get some questions wrong. So for this part, question type, you have multiple choice and you have a single choice. A multiple choice with checkboxes, this will allow more than 1 correct answer because they can check 2 boxes. Single choice, this is a radio button, meaning only 1 option can be selected, only 1 correct answer. Give 1 point for the whole task. So we won't have that option in a single choice. It's only for multiple correct answers. Randomize answers, this is a good one. This will scramble the choices that we gave so they don't show up the same, so students can't remember the answers, A, B, B, C, or something like that. So every time the question is displayed, the options are randomized. So it's good to keep that there. The next one is clear, require answer before the solution can be viewed. So students cannot see the solution until they have given an answer. Show confirmation dialog on check. So they confirm. Once they're done, they have to click check to check their answers. This gives them an extra step of confirmation, asking them if they're sure that they're done. No need for that right now. Same for retry. If they click on retry, they want to try the activity again. Do they get a confirmation dialog? Are you sure you want to retry? Don't need that. And automatically check answers. This will automatically check answers for the questions. Not so much, it won't help so much for this type of activity on multiple choice, but this is more for short answers and essays and image hotspots and other more complicated activities. And finally, show score points. Pass percentage, you are giving a pass percentage, so usually say 50%, but since this is a one question, you would need to get the question correct to pass, so you need 100% for a pass. And showing the score points, that is just to show the score to the students once they're done. The last part, text overrides and translations, we don't really need to get into that. This is more in-depth stuff that you don't need when you're doing your multiple choice. So this is basically overriding the default prompts that the student gets once they get an answer correct, or if they get an answer wrong, or if they finish, or if they want to see the correct solution. You can add your own custom labels and custom prompts as well. So it starts with the button check. So this is where they check their answers. You can change it to check my answers, and that will change it in the activity. So there might be some times when you want to change these. Last one is the image content name. Just leave it as image. So that's it. That should be it. We're done. We're done with our multiple choice activity. On the right hand side, you have these options: display toolbar below content, or allow users to download the content, display embed button, and display copyright button. So these are all things that will show up on the activity that students will see. So they can see a toolbar, they can download the content, and they can take the activity and they can embed it somewhere else. There is an embed code that's there. I usually just disable all of this, so the content, the activity itself would just be on that page. So up to this point, nothing has been saved. So if we do close this page right now, nothing would be saved, and we would have lost everything we did now. So in order for you to actually create this activity, you have to click on create, and that would create this activity, and it will take you to a page where you can preview the activity. So this is the page right here, and I'm just waiting for it to pop up. So right here, this is our activity. So first we have the title, MC activity, that's what we called it. Then we have the image. Again, remember, we kept the zooming on the image, so if I click on the image, it will be zoomed in. And then we have our question, how many cherries are in the picture? I clicked 5 and I got it wrong. So remember, I also allowed the two options, show solution and retry. And I also got the custom message that I entered here. Sorry, you did not pass the activity. This is for anything from 0 to 50%. So right now I got a 0. So I have the option to show the solution, and it tells me here 7 is the correct solution. And I have the option to retry. Let me retry. And if you remember, we added a hint to the first option, which was 3 cherries. So if I click on this I, information, show tip, it shows me a tip and it tells me count the cherries in the picture. So I count the cherries and I think it's 7, and it is 7, and I got a great job because I got 100%. That falls within the 50 to 100% category that I created, which gets this feedback. Great job. Okay, so until now this is still in the back end. This is still in the back end of our website. You also see here the results and edit. So if I click on edit, it will take me back to the page to edit the activity. If I click on the results, it will take me to a page that shows me the results of the activity. If someone completes the activity right here, so this is me, I'm admin. I completed the activity at this time, date and time, and it took me 1 minute and 35 seconds to complete the activity. And the score that I got is 1 out of 1. Maximum score is 1. So it logged the last attempt. The first attempt I got a 0, but it did not log it because I had a retry. Retried and I got it correct. So on the left side, if you go back to all H5P content, you will see this MC activity. This is the activity we created. I can click on it and it will show me the activity. So this doesn't really help me because it's not on the front side. It's not on the page where people have access to it. So H5P uses shortcodes to embed the activities onto your website. So you will need this code, H5P ID 1. So this is activity 1, that is the unique ID that it has, and this is the shortcode that I can use to copy and paste it and then have it display. So let's do that very quickly. So I'll go to, when I do a post or a page, you can do either. You can embed or you can show the activity on a page or on a post. Let's just do a post very quickly. I'll add a new post. Take a minute for my WordPress. This is a brand new install of WordPress. Alright, I don't want to take the tour, so I'll call this post MC number 1. MC number 1. So I have the shortcode already copied in my clipboard. So what I would need to do is you can add a new block and you can look for the shortcode block. Click on that and that will add a shortcode block where you can paste your shortcode in. And I don't really need to do anything here in the options. I'm okay, I don't need anything. I'll just publish this to show you what it looks like. So I'm ready to publish. So now we should have a page with this activity on it. So let me view my post. Okay, so this is the bare bones installation of WordPress, and this is our first post, and it is the activity that we created. So, and it's got this functionality here. You can zoom in, zoom out. Keep in mind that sometimes what it looks like in the back end might look different on the front end once you put it in a post or a page. Sometimes your theme might kind of interact with the view and would change what it looked like, but I think here it looks fine. So let's choose 4 cherries. You see the same options. I want to retry 7 cherries. That is correct. Great job. And that is it. So this is just to wrap up. You've noticed that this is just one question. This is one question. It is one multiple choice question. We did not have the option to add more questions because this was just a one question activity. Later on, I'll show you how to create a question set where you can add as many multiple choice questions as you want. It will look like this, but with as many questions as you want. That's it. Thank you.